Your personal brand is the only brand that stays with you for life, no matter what you do. In this video, I'm going to share the 5-step process for you to build a personal brand that allows you to generate new opportunities, cultivate influence, and generate income. Stay tuned. Building a personal brand is one of the very best things that you can do for yourself and for your future. Having a solid brand will help you attract opportunities, open doors, and make sure that no matter what's going on in the world out there, that you're solid and steady and always have something that you can do. I usually use the example of Monica Lewinsky versus Martha Stewart. You may think that these two women have nothing in common, but in fact, they have something huge in common. They both went through a very serious public scandal. Monica Lewinsky obviously had an affair with the president. Martha Stewart did some insider trading and actually did some jail time, although most people don't even remember that part. And why? Because before the scandal, the two had a very different life or experience. Monica Lewinsky was unknown to us. In other words, she didn't have a brand. She was an unknown entity. And so she became branded by the scandal and really was never able to recover. For as long as you and I live, we'll probably remember Monica Lewinsky as the woman who had the affair with the president. And we perceive her as that being her brand. She was branded by the scandal. Martha Stewart, on the other hand, had a very strong brand before going through the scandal. And so the scandal came and it was news for a while. We paid attention to it. We made fun of it. But soon it blew over and she went back to being who she always was, an author and a thought leader in the space of home decor and entertaining. And so now when you think of Martha Stewart, chances are you don't think about the fact that she wore an orange jumpsuit and ended up in jail. And the difference between the two was that Martha Stewart had a solid personal brand, Monica Lewinsky didn't. And so that's the purpose of having a brand. It helps you to weather any sort of scandal, any sort of hard times, economic downturn, and things like that. You can weather the storm better when you have a solid brand that speaks for you out in the world. And one of the things I say about personal branding is that it's not who you know or even who knows you. It's what they say about you when you're not around. That's your brand. So how do you build a personal brand that's solid and compelling and magnetic? Well, there are 5 steps. The first step is to do the inner work. The inner work is identifying who am I really and how do I want to be in the world. So I'll give you a quick little story. When I started promoting myself and positioning myself and branding myself, I did it based on what I thought the market would accept and how I thought the market would look at me and want to work with me. In other words, I said, I want to be a consultant. What does a consultant look like? How does a consultant's brand look? And so I ended up with a brand that you can see in this video that was navy blue and black and white and very boring, very not me. But I was basing my brand on something external. So the first step to do it right is to go internal. Once I got clear that I'm a creator, that I love to have fun, that I like color, and that I'm someone who wants to inspire people and educate people in a way that's not boring or traditional, then I had to bring my whole brand into alignment with that. So it started by recognizing who I really was. That was the inner work. The second step is the higher work. The higher work is the purpose behind your brand. It's what your brand is for, why you do what you do, why you are positioning yourself as a leader, as a thought leader even perhaps. What that looks like, for example, a brand like Tom's Shoes is all about helping people in developing countries who don't have shoes. For every pair of shoes you buy, Tom's donates a pair. So they lead with their purpose. Brands that have a purpose connect more deeply with their audiences. So what's your purpose? What are you all about? And don't freak out here. Don't think has to be written in stone or in blood and you never get to change it. You can choose a purpose today and you can let it evolve as you evolve. So what is your brand going to be about? What's the why behind your brand? The third step is the creative work of your brand. This is where we identify what's unique and special about your brand. I like to use the example of Christian Louboutin shoes. Christian Louboutin shoes are able to charge $1,000 for a pair of shoes because they have something very unique and special, the red sole. So I invite you to consider, what's your red sole? What's so unique and special about you that nobody else can take it or copy it or knock it off from you? And so what that often looks like, especially in the world of experts and speakers and coaches and authors, is what is your thought leadership? What is your unique signature system? What's the model that you developed or the process you developed that's unique and special and that delivers unique and special results? So that's the third piece, the creative work of identifying how you're different and unique and how you stand out and deliver unique value to the world. The fourth step is where most people start their branding journey, which is the strategy, the strategic work of figuring out how are you going to position yourself in the market? What's your niche? What's your area of focus? Who do you specialize in helping? Or what problem do you solve? What is that? What's your price point? Where do you land in relation to other people in your industry or in your market? All of that is the positioning work and establishing yourself as a premium brand in order to be able to generate higher price points. Now, the final step is the design and deploy step. This is the execution work where you actually create materials, where you build your website, you create brochures, you design your business card. It's where you choose your colors and your fonts and all the things that are going to represent you out in the world when you're not there to represent yourself. And sometimes even when you are there to represent yourself. What clothes do you wear? What colors do you show up in? And this is all part of the design portion of your brand. And then finally, the deploy portion of this execution work is how are you going to put your brand out into the world on a consistent basis? This is also known as marketing. Marketing is literally the dissemination of your brand into the world. And that can look like publishing, email marketing, broadcasting, podcasting, speaking, all the different ways that you put your brand out into the world consistently so that people can experience it and then come back to you. So these are the 5 steps to building your personal brand. If you're interested in going deeper into how you can align what you do with who you are, then click on the link below to subscribe and get my Monetize Your Magic playbook. See you on the next video.